Today I want to spend a few minutes highlighting some aspects of one of our powerful features, and that is here under automations, if you'll see schedules. So what are schedules? The best way to describe it is they're scheduled automations, and they work around a based on date. By default, the based on date is the moment you add a target to a schedule. From that moment, all the automations that you add to a schedule are triggered relative to that based on date. So let's take a look. If we add to schedule, there are two types, but right now let's just focus on direct schedules because I want to highlight some uses that maybe you didn't think about. So the first use case would be something like if you wanted to send out an email to your clients on, say, the first anniversary of you doing business together. So 1 year after you start a relationship, you want to send out an email and say, hey, we've been doing business together for 1 year. Isn't that great? We love having you as a client. Yada, 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 right? So you can use this for building relationships. And it's just an example, but let's just say we're going to call this yearly anniversary schedule. The based on day is going to be the moment that they're added to the schedule. So let's go ahead and create this one. And then all we have to do is click into the schedule and add an automation. So we'll click automation here. And now we're going to add the first automation. Of course, we could add a dozen automations, but we're just going to do one really easy. Months. And we'll say 1 year anniversary. Okay, and on this automation date, we're going to send an email to the target. We're going to say, you can format this, you can make this really nice, and then we're going to click save. All right, so now we're going to send an email to the target after 12 months, and this 12 months is based on the moment that they're added to this schedule. And you can do that via an automation or you can do it manually, but typically you'd want to do that by an automation. So let's click create, and now we have one automation set on this schedule. And it's just one email at this point. Now we could add any number of additional automations, including maybe an email to you or your staff to follow up with this client in a different way, order a gift, whatever you want to do. Or any of these automations are on the table to be triggered also at this moment in time. And you can set any number of these, quote, moments in time, either before or after the based on date. But let's add a new schedule now, another direct schedule, and let's look at this idea. So what if we said based on a specific date, and we called this December 25th, all right? And so now we can just say, this is going to be our 2024 Christmas greeting. And then we'll say create. And now we can go in and add an email or send an email cannon or whatever we want to do. Right, we're going to send this automation, and we're going to do this one, trigger after, we're just going to say 1 minute here, because it's going to be on Christmas Day. And we're going to call this Christmas. Actually, I don't know if I have email cannons active in this account, but we could do an email to target. And here, same thing, Merry Christmas, yada, yada. So now we can save that, and for every target that we add to this schedule, they will receive this email. So again, very simple. This one is on a specific date, which is a little bit different than the relative date, but it does have a use case. And for those of you that are working around, say, event dates like weddings or conferences, you can use this very easily to base the based on date on the value of a custom field. So during your onboarding, for example, in a form, you will collect the event date, say the conference date, and then you will set that here. I don't have any date custom fields here yet, but then essentially you would do the same thing. So if the date was May 25th, 2024, you can go and set scheduled automations to happen before the date or after the date, and you'll set those relative to the date. So 5 days before, 10 days before, 2 days after, 5 days after. You can send emails, you can set events, you can set reminders, you can do all these things that you need to do to lead up to an event or like a conference or a wedding and going away from an event as a thank you or a follow-up. All right, so scheduled automations are super powerful. They give you the flexibility to choose any date out into the future and then build scheduled automations around that date, both before and after. All right, hope that's helpful. Thanks, everyone. Bye.